I gave most of Britain Mumps.
Oh, I've never fancied you.
You've got the most gopping, horrible, elf-like trotters.
In the spirit of honesty on this podcast, I have got to say, you have wound me off a little bit this week.
Hello and welcome to Capital Breakfast After the Show. I'm Jordan North, here's Chris Stark, and here is Sian Welby. How's your week been, guys?
Very good. Another great week.
Yeah, it's been like being in a wind tunnel as always.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I'm like a shell of a woman today.
Same.
Yeah.
Look, I know you're probably listening and thinking, you only talk on the radio, which is fair enough. It's a Friday. It's 10:37 at the time of recording. We've got our drinks. Cheers. It's been a mad week because it's busy for us this time of year because we're going into the summertime ball. So it's been non-stop, hasn't it? Fun, but non-stop.
Well, it's always just carnage, and I think when we cram so much in, you sort of sit back and go, what have we done? And it's like I can't remember. It's like some sort of weird memory loss because there was so much.
Can you just throw it to you? Can you remember what we did on the show on Tuesday? Tell me one thing about Tuesday's show.
Was that Orlando Bloom?
What?
No, was that
after the show it was, but we haven't done it on air yet.
Yeah.
We have when this comes out.
Oh yeah, because now we're in the future. Oh, this is even harder.
Oh God, this is even weirder.
We're recording this from the future.
Oh my God, Chairman Lee's kicking off here. Oh no.
No, just on the Orlando Bloom thing, that's what I find mad about this job sometimes. We're so lucky because we meet so many cool people and, it's an amazing thing about the job. But sometimes it's so fleeting and then you look back at the week and you forget that you've interviewed someone like Orlando Bloom. Yeah,
which was pretty epic actually. He was on good form. I think he might have a little comeback because that film's really funny. I'm not seen him. Do you know what
I wondered? And I hate regrets. You know when someone comes in and then you regret not asking something. Do you know what I regret?
Go on.
I can see him popping up in Ted Lasso, the new Ted Lasso.
And you wish you'd asked him?
Wish I'd asked him.
What makes you think that?
Yeah, what makes you think that?
Huge fan of Ted Lasso.
Is it?
And as we were talking to him and we had this great, you need to listen back to this if you haven't heard it, it'll be on Global Player. He was talking about, we were talking about him being in the UK quite a lot. I'd spotted him in a pub a while back. We were talking about that, but he's a huge fan of Ted Lasso. His co-star in the thing he's promoting at the moment, what was it?
Mr. Swallow. But the film Deep Cover, is in Ted Lasso as well. He's a huge fan of it. There's rumours of this series in fact we kind of think it's happening. We got that from Hannah Waddingham in a previous chat.
Yeah,
I just think joining the dots a little bit here, I can
sense.
see an Orlando Bloom cameo, and I regret that we didn't ask him.
I've never seen it.
I haven't actually.
Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Or be honest, when someone has previously said, do you like Ted Lasso? Do you feel obliged to go,
yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's so funny.
There's a few things. Do you know what I've never seen? I'm going to say it now. I've never seen Forrest Gump. But I pretend I know because I say all the quotes.
Yeah.
There's one film that we've all not seen. I've got one, which is...
Have you seen Titanic?
I've seen Titanic, but I've never seen Lion King.
Never seen The Lion King?
Yeah, everyone's got
the original Disney one.
I've never seen it, the cartoon one. Mad that, innit?
So if I said Hakuna Matata, it means nothing.
It's the one. I used to watch them. They had their own spin-off cartoon, didn't they?
They did.
Timon and Pumbaa.
I can't imagine being with someone
for
their first time. Like you, so if we watch Lion King with you, it'd be your first time seeing it.
Can you imagine
we should do that.
When he sees the Mufasa bit.
That's what I mean.
Dad.
We grew up on that.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those. We never had it on video because I don't think my uncle could get it on copy. So
anything you'd like to admit to now, Chris, that you haven't seen?
Everyone's got that one film or TV show that they've never. I'll give you another one. Right? Everyone's got a film or TV show. I never watched Breaking Bad.
Oh, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I think we should do a little watch along. I just want to be
first times.
I want to be with you. First time.
I like to think on the pulse of pop culture. I watch Game of Thrones. Cinema was into them. I love all the stuff that's out now. There must be a film that everybody loves that you've never seen.
Well, I've not seen a lot of films that you guys have seen, so yeah, there'll be loads. But I think we start with Lion King.
I know what your biggest one is, Chris.
Clarkson's Farm.
Clarkson's Farm. Come on.
So good.
Honestly, I get stressed thinking about how you haven't had it, and I get excited. Imagine you watching the first episode with so much joy.
I know, but you say this. I don't know if you realise you say this every day to me.
I know.
You say,
because I'm waiting.
Have you watched Clarkson's Farm?
I'm waiting for you to come in and shake my hand and say, Sian, You were spot on.
You
I
just
binged
want me
20.
to enjoy it, right?
I want you to. I know, because I know you will. I know you'll love it.
Thank you to everyone that's got in touch about this podcast. We've seen so many messages, and we put the first episode out there. weren't sure how people were going to take to it, and it's just been so heartwarming, the response to it. So welcome along. Thanks for being involved. And do you remember in the last episode I said perhaps we can free up a little bit of space to have because we've got pictures behind us here. We've got a screen, which is almost like it's got shelves with pictures on. And we thought one of those pictures every week could be a different person who listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
And we've got our first one sent in.
Oh, who's that?
So that's little Dotty the dog, and that's Fiona who sent that in.
Oh,
Fiona, thanks for that. Little Dotty the dog. We never even thought about having a dog behind us. How wonderful.
So that'll change next week as well. We'll have someone else.
Yes, if you want to do that, if you would like to be in the photo frame, send us a photo of yourself. I don't know what the rules are with said photos.
We'll do a feet pic next week.
It's someone's foot next week, and that's a promise.
Want to theme it?
Let's theme it every week. We've had cute this week. Foot pictures next week,
We want
please.
your feet pictures to aftershowshow@capitalfm.com. So the email address is aftershowshow@capitalfm.com. Send your feet pictures. We'll pick the best feet pics that we like, put them on there. If you've got the most gopping, horrible, elf-like trotters.
Oh.
No, what they
don't
not
want
called
bunions.
elves. What they called?
Hobbit-like
trotters. We'll put it on that picture behind me. So start with dogs next week. Feet.
Oh, I was hoping there'd be nice feet, but never mind. We'll see what we get.
Each to their own. I've been accused on previous podcasts for kink shaming, but don't get the feet thing. Yeah. Like each to their own.
Each to their own.
Wait. Oh, I probably can't say this. I've seen you holding feet with somebody before. His hand between the toes. Disgusting.
That is true, but yeah. Anyway, right. What are we going? Moving on.
Moving on. Well, you two have right. If you don't listen to our breakfast show, genuinely, we all get on. We're all friends, and obviously, there's a little bit of drama for comedy effect sometimes. Genuinely, this week, I actually think Chris, you've been annoyed with Jordan.
Oh yeah.
I think you've actually, as the week's gone on, I think you've genuinely got more annoyed.
Yeah, so it started. How did it start this week? Paddle. There's paddle and copying. Let's. This is our debrief. This is us in the pub. So you can act as adjudicator, referee here. Discuss Chris Stark.
I love Jordan so much, right?
But
good start.
I love you, Shani, and we all have things that we love about each other.
Yes.
And there are things that. And it's going to be natural wind us up about each other.
Of course,
and that's okay.
We're in a trapped room every day with no windows for 4 hours solid, if not more, sometimes 6 hours.
And I really mean this now. I apologise for any time I've pissed you off or you've gone back to either your other half of your BA companion and gone like, you know what?
The BA companion.
Chris really annoyed me today. He was in a mood or he was he said something. I never mean any offence, and we're all just trying. And anyway,
I agree. It's very rare. It's very rare we have any issues.
It does happen though, and I think it's natural. And so, in the spirit of honesty on this podcast, I have got to say you have wound me off a little bit this week because
I knew it.
Because I kind of think when I imagine people tuning into the show, they have something they identify in each one of us.
Yeah.
So it might be our personalities, or it might be what we get up to outside of work. It might be our kind of hobbies or interests, or our family situations, or it could be any number of different things. There's something for everyone. What I feel though is sometimes, Jordan, I think you are Jordan North plus now all my features. So
Jordan North Plus.
Yeah, so my concern
Disney
is,
Plus.
If you carry on this way, what's going to happen is there's no need for our bosses to pay both of us. They'll just have you because
Oh, I see.
This is where it's come
I see
from.
what you're getting at.
Because if I don't have any unique things for myself because you're copying everything, and anyway, I'm getting deep with this. Basically, what I'm saying is there is a trend I'm noticing. Whenever I bring something to the show that I'm into, suddenly you're into it. And then a week or two later, you're pretending as if you've always been into it, and actually I'm copying you.
Okay, so this all started with paddle, to the point where we have talked about paddle loads on the show. It's a tennis-like game that is overtaking the world. Everyone's obsessed with it. I took the piss out of Chris for ages on the show about it. I called it a cult, a pyramid scheme. I says, you can tell you're in your 30s when you're playing paddle. I was like, you're playing with strange men with your wife. That we made like lots of swinging connotations about it on air, which is great. Then I started playing paddle, but started playing paddle with Chris's friend, who's also now my friend. He started cutting Chris's hair. He also now cuts.
Yeah, so this guy cuts my hair, right? And then Ollie, and then all of a sudden, he's putting up pictures with Ollie, and I'm hearing Ollie's been booked for things outside of work, and I'm a bit like, and then there's a point where I'm trying to book Ollie. I'm filming something outside, and he's not free because he's seeing Jordan. And next thing, it's the paddle. It's like he's suddenly into paddle the same way as me after taking a mic. And then to really rub it in, he's playing paddle with Ollie. So Ollie isn't free ever because he's playing paddle with Jordan. So there's this weird situation. Like I said I was moving house. All of a sudden you're moving house.
Oh, no. I would.
Do you know how I feel right now? I'm imagining this is like couples therapy,
yes.
And I'm the therapist, and you two are a married couple, and you've come in, you've actually divorced, but you're trying to get back together.
Yeah.
And I'm here to mediate and say, well, look, he gets paddle and he gets the barber.
I do think we need a bit of that.
Yeah, maybe we need to decide who keeps what.
I have got that personality where if I make a new friend, not that Chris is a new friend, but if I make a new friend, I'm a bit like, I do kind of
take on there.
Yes, and I kind of see that because I also then realise we've got the same car.
Yeah, mate.
There's a lot.
Everything.
That jacket you had on the other week, I've gone and ordered it.
Honestly, I half expect to go home one day and Jordan's in bed with my wife. I mean, at this stage of things, I can't rule it out.
No, you can't. Nothing's safe. Nothing is safe at this point.
I do need my own life as well, mate. So anyway, I don't know what we do about it.
Well, just quickly, this is probably a good time to say, please get involved in this chat. I think, first of all, I want to know if any copying has gone out of control with anyone that's listening to this in their workplace, where they are. If they've got someone that's like notoriously copying them. But then if you want to wade in on this debate, who should get what?
Yeah, it's because it's not who's the better man or anything like that. It's no, and we should be allowed to do both things. But soon you'll be into barbecuing and stuff like that, and then I have nothing.
You have to leave Chris the barbecue.
I will leave you the barbecue. But you did also say on air, I moved to Capital, you come to Capital.
Yeah,
you tapped me up at a wedding.
Yeah,
you were the one that got me pissed at a wedding.
We're talking about that.
Yeah, you got me pissed and went, Roman's on his way out. I was like, all right, so there you go. You brought me over.
There is an origin story here.
Yeah. Is there actually? Why don't you tell it?
Well,
tell it now. People are listening.
We were at a wedding and we were having a beer. We were having a lovely time. And then randomly out of the blue, Chris said, Roman's leaving. You should come over. And I was like, meh. And then we went for a curry and a beer. Then we proper chatted it out. It was about 2 hours, weren't it? Mm. I was like, I think I'm going to do this. I was getting a bit fed up over there and stuff. Obviously, we knew each other before, Sean, because we met at Saturday Night Takeaway in Florida, and we talked about like the madness of working in radio. And then
I even joked. I said one day we'll work together. Jokingly, said it to you.
And we were having a drink, and then when did I tell you? Did I tell you New Year's Eve at mine? No, you came to mine for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it might have been then.
I think I told you because Sean comes to mine. I went, I don't know if you know. And then Sean rung me a couple of weeks later, and she's like, "Can I speak to you?" And I was still at Radio 1 then. So I need to speak to you, and I thought, oh, Sean's leaving as well. She went, no, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you're joining and I'm going.
Yeah.
Bye.
God.
Yeah, mad.
It's a
mad
crazy
times.
time. Look, we could do a whole episode.
Best decision I ever made. I make no secret of that. And like all my friends and family say it to me. They're like, it's the best thing you ever did. You can tell how happy you are. You're more like, people say it to me all the time. So thank you. I absolutely love doing it.
Can you even step foot back in the old building, or are you totally barred now?
Probably barred. Yeah. Chris is still allowed. You left on good terms.
You reckon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But me, no.
I don't know.
And we'll go into that another day. I'm loving this. I think it's great that we do it on a Friday. It does feel like therapy, doesn't it? Chris, do you want to tell us about your best bit from the week? Let's do our best bits from the week on Capital Breakfast.
Well, I'm just aware at this sort of time, a lot of people are doing exams. A lot of people who enjoy our show. It's a stressful time.
You're right over there.
Do you want to just clear up what that sound was for anyone who's just listening?
It was me having a beer, but before we came down, me and Chris were in the toilets together, and he went, you're pissing like a racehorse.
Are you one of those loud horse piss people?
He does.
Like a dad piss?
Yeah, you know where you can tell he's just forcing it out. Just some like jet wash, settings. Like he's gone jet wash.
Just quickly, and this won't even make the edit because I know they don't like this kind of chat.
It will.
But can we just discuss what is going on in men's loos? And I just want to say, I think that you've all made pissing a game.
It's
out of control. It's got out of control. Just you trying to force a piss out. You're the kind of person that must be spraying everywhere.
So can I tell you something that brings me so much joy? Because I think it's done to stop this issue is, little in urinals, sometimes to get men to focus, they put little games in there. Have you seen this?
This is what I'm saying.
The best one I've seen is there's a little goal that goes in there with a little ball on a string. Then everyone aims for the ball because it like shoots it off in different directions.
Do you do an Owen Hargreaves at the urinals?
What's that?
We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look.
What are you doing?
Okay, right. So your best bit of the week, please, Chris. Start.
No, just before the headlines start here, I think what Jordan's talking about is the natural. Like, any bloke would be really honest, it's very hard to just remain focused.
But why are they made like that? This is what I'm saying. Why aren't you all in cubicles?
Because men don't generally need that,
but you do.
But the little games, that is the difference. In a nutshell, between me and you, isn't it?
It is. Girls are functional at the loo.
You don't need a little goal in there.
We don't need a goal, some sort of net to catch our piss in. Like, I don't know what you're all doing.
You don't have a little netball or something?
There's no netball going on. There's a sort of hockey team down there. Girls' loos smell lovely and they're all clean. And there's something about a men's loo, they've got out of control.
Yeah. Do you know what? The odd time I've been in a ladies' loo, it's just a totally different vibe.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's mad. I used to work in this bar. And at the end of the night, I should point out, you'd have to be sort of cleaning up everywhere, and you'd go in, you'd take the bins out, the guys, and then you'd have to go into the ladies. And I'd walk into the ladies there and just go like, they're onto something in here, aren't they? They really have got this. They really have just got this right. It's so pleasant.
It's great. Right, come on.
Go on.
Best moments from the week.
Yes,
I mean,
what's yours?
So much. Oh, right. We interrupted you when you were talking about exams because that's what we were going to say. Loads of people doing exams at the minute. So you rallied round to give them like a passion speech. I actually do love it when you do this.
It's just a stressful time for people. And it's not just people doing exams, it's their families as well. Loads of people that are in the car on the way to exams. I just wanted to do something which didn't make people antsy, but I wanted to motivate people ideally and also, dare I say it, be a little bit ridiculous about the situation to make people feel a bit better and take the sting out of what was happening.
I think this is Chris Stark at his best. It's like proper Chris Stark that I used to listen to before I even knew you, when you used to do like tap end and stuff. It was like this is my favourite bit that we've done this week. It's Chris Stark pumping up. Imagine this, right? It's a Tuesday morning. You're listening to the radio, you're in the car on the way to school, you're nervous about your GCSE maths exam because it's the worst to do, and you hear this on the radio. It was just, without blowing our own trumpet, I think we got it spot on Tuesday morning.
Today's the day. The one the past 5 years of worksheets, whiteboards and wonky protractors has led to. Today, you have a date with GCSE maths. And guess what? You're ready. You're ready because you overcame every "sir, I don't get it" moment. You're ready because you've battled through the quadratic trenches, danced with decimals, and stared down simultaneous equations with nothing but a biro and your brain. You're ready, and now that exam hall is your Colosseum. Let that exam paper try it. Let it hit you with a dodgy-looking Venn diagram. Let it throw in one of those word problems about a train leaving Manchester and backhand it away with confidence. You know that probability isn't just maths, it's a lifestyle. You show Pythagoras that you are the final boss, armed with pencils, sharp minds, and a Casio calculator older than time itself. We will rise together. We will show our working out. We will circle our answers, and we will emerge victorious. You've got this. Who's got this? You are built for this. Who's built for this? This is your formula slaying, exam paper dominating, main character moment. Maths might come and go, but you there are always the answer. Come on!
How good was that? That is you at your best, Chris. I feel pumped. I want to take on my GCSEs, and I got an E.
It's funny, I reckon if you are just listening to this in your headphones, some people might be watching it. Hello. I think that you would get so motivated by that, you probably could do anything. You could run a marathon, you could stop traffic, that kind of energy.
Yeah, but that's what I love when we do the show, and you feel like you are potentially having, even if it's the smallest little effect on someone's day, and hopefully putting them in a positive mindset. That makes any effort of writing anything or do it, like, do you get what I mean? It's just the coolest thing to feel that you can have an effect on someone's day, especially at a stressful time.
I agree, and that's the wholesome stuff out the way. Let's get on now to lads and girls holidays.
This is something that we do on the show every Thursday. We do you remember, where we just take a trip down memory lane. That's what we say, and it's such like
nostalgia.
It's nostalgia, and you might say it's low hanging fruit because it's easy to do, but I absolutely love it. It's genuinely one of my favourite things we do on the show, and this week it's all about lads and lasses holidays, and we've got so many good texts and calls that we do all the time. Before, we've done like shows you used to watch as a kid, school dinners, that kind of thing, TV theme tunes. But what I loved this week was seeing your lads and lasses holiday photos.
I can't believe. No, but the ones I shared were so much worse than yours, right? Mine was me passed out on a park bench, me passed out on a sofa with two mates climbing on top of me because I was that passed out, and the third one is me soaking wet, and everyone thought it was from a foam party. No, it wasn't. I was at a christening, right? I was in a lovely dress. I was at a friend's christening, and at about 10:30, I thought it'd be funny to jump into the koi pond.
Oh my God.
So I jumped into the pond.
It was so good seeing our pictures from when we were like 18, 19. I went to Magaluf and we were all in our like lads on tour t-shirts and stuff, I remember.
Yeah, but what was your t-shirt? It went wrong?
We got ours, it was bright yellow. It said my name on the back, my nickname, Dingle, and then it said Magaluf 2008, and then it said Lancashire lads. But we were meant to be a pint glass, and my mate changed it, all done on word art. And it was like one of those old school pints, but everyone was like, why have you got frothy coffee on front of your t-shirt so it looked like a cappuccino?
I tell you what, it confused me slightly when we did this and seeing your photos.
Yes.
Is I'm going to have to say something here. Yeah, I mean it with the utmost respect.
Here we go. What?
I mean this with the utmost respect.
Oh no, what? Go on.
But this might be awkward.
Okay, go on.
I've never fancied you. Because I love our relationship, as in working together.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm very happy married. All of this thing.
We all thought it when you showed us them pictures.
But just for the record, it's like you develop a sort of brotherly, sisterly relationship.
You do.
I've never ever seen.
No, I know what you mean.
However, the problem was you showed the photos, and we all put up pictures when we were younger, and it engaged my 17, 18, 19-year-old brain. And I saw pictures of you when you were that same age, and it just took me back to like being on these holidays, all of my group of friends just being pathetic and desperately trying to get with anyone that was out there, and your group of girls would have been so far out of our league.
They were so fit. You and your mates were so fit. My in-betweeners mates would have just gone past you. If we were in the pool, we would have splashed you or something. Or just been like, probably thrown a donut at you or something like that. That's what we would have done.
We wouldn't have known what to have done.
Yeah.
Probably the more confident of our group would have wandered over and tried to start a conversation. But it's very hard starting a conversation with 10 girls wearing what you were wearing.
Well, we were in personalised bikinis, which I then told Chris ended up in Nuts magazine because I sent the picture off.
How mad's this?
Listen to this.
Because we all got personalised bikinis, right? And so a bit like with your lads who have all got really funny nicknames, some of us did and some of us didn't. We didn't really have nicknames as girls. So I was in charge of printing them. So I got like Shorty, and there was Chav, and there was Jordan, was the mate with the big boobs.
Yeah.
And then there was one girl who was like, I don't have a nickname. So I just printed Slag. And the poor girl, sorry Ellie,
it was 2008.
It was a different time. The poor girl, bless her, she's still a very good friend of mine. She had to walk around in this bikini with Slag on the bum, and it was so funny. And that was also the year, that was Magaluf. That was the year I gave most of Britain Mumps.
Oh God, I didn't know where that was going.
I left Magaluf that year, and I swear to you, I got Mumps in Magaluf that year.
Imagine if I had snogged you drunk.
Oh my God.
Because what happened was, I'll tell you what happened. Our year at school never got that mumps vaccine. If you've never heard of mumps, it's like it makes your throat swell. It makes
your bollocks.
It makes your face look like a frog.
Your bollocks look like space operas as well.
It's really bad if guys get it, right? So this was actually bang out of order from me. But
sit down.
Chairman Lee's looking concerned out there, by the way.
Let me tell you the rest, and we'll see what makes it. I'm gonna have a little sip of this water, and I will tell you.
This is great. This is why we
open another beer.
Okay, let me tell you. Here we go.
I'm running
Good.
low here.
Have we got any more gin? So, what happened was I had got mumps the week running up to this holiday, but I'd paid the 300 quid, and at the time that was like £1 million to me, and I wasn't going to lose it. So, disguised with a scarf, I got on the flight. And my neck was as big as a bullfrog, you know, like the chin and neck joined.
Like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. So I get on the plane, and then I'm hoping, because it's the tail end of the mumps and it lasts for, say, like 7 days.
End of the month. Said no one ever.
When you're desperate for a girl's holiday, this is what you do. So I went out there and I was like, I must be nearly gone. By the time I got out there 2 days later, I looked normal, but I was probably still contagious. And then I did snog a lot of people.
Yeah, well,
And that's the problem.
So you must
honestly, at that age, mums wouldn't have put me off.
And this is the stuff we can't talk about on the radio, and why we should have done this podcast ages ago. It's time now to have a look into the quotes from the notes, please.
We'll have a look.
We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Sian Welby, can you explain this?
Yeah, this is just some little moments and little quotes that I've taken from real, actual sentences and conversations that happen when the mics go down. This one, however, was when the mic was up. He's never shaved another bloke's arse.
Oh my God.
I can't believe you said that. You know?
Oh, I was meant to say Ollie had shaved my arms, and on air I said Ollie shaved my arse.
Yes. That was in front of, was it Jessie J?
Yes.
That was in front of Jessie J, who was like, why are you getting another man to shave your arse?
Because in my head when I say it, I say, don't say arse, don't say arse. So I said, yeah, I got my barber to shave my arse. I mean my arms, because I recently got my arms shaved, didn't I? It was very, very, very funny at the time.
It was funny. We call these Jordanisms where he does get it wrong and he hasn't even clocked, because you talk at 100 miles an hour. We all do, but your brain's racing and you don't notice it.
Sasha in Hull wants to know, has anything ever gone wrong with a celebrity? Oh God, all the time.
Yeah. Right. Where do we start? Miriam Margolyes couldn't sit in our seats.
I wasn't here for that. What happened there? Yeah.
Were you not there? Were you there?
You were there.
No, I wasn't.
You were?
I think you were.
No, I love Miriam Margolyes. I've never met her. That definitely was BJ before Jordan.
BJ.
No, but it wasn't.
That was BJ.
It wasn't, though.
It wasn't, because it was just me and Chris.
Maybe it was just me and you then.
I was not on the show when we've had Miriam Margolyes, because I would make sure.
She's so short she couldn't get up on our seats.
Yeah.
So
You can't predict that, can you?
No, because we had a genuine issue because our desk doesn't move. The mics are high, and we didn't envisage she wouldn't be able to get up onto the chair. So that went wrong.
It'd be rude for me to lift her onto a chair. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was an awkward situation.
So we got a stool or something, didn't we? And we had to talk. It was odd. That video must be somewhere.
It wasn't me. That was.
Did I dream this up?
That was with Ro. That was with Ro. I'm telling you.
It wasn't.
I was not with
me. It wasn't because
wasn't.
It wasn't. It was you. There's no way.
It wasn't. I would not. I will bet you a tenner. I'll bet you both a pint.
Callum,
I'm going to find that video.
Callum.
Producer Callum, find the video.
It's not me. It was.
We're
not
taking
me.
it to VAR because
that has got to have been the toughest edit for our team.
What was me? And you wasn't here. You was off. Which is funny, you were off with your nuts, and we nearly killed KSI because of nuts.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we did, what was it called that we did with him?
The Pop Star Appraisal.
Pop Star Appraisal. And we had some idea to see how tough he was, to see if he could open a jar of peanut butter. And I got at him, he opened a jar of peanut butter. He's really allergic to nuts. So I scooped it on my finger and put it in his face. And he went, actually, and you know what KSI is like? He's a great guest, always up for a laugh. He's like, stop, don't, I'm allergic to nuts. We literally nearly killed KSI.
I think the thing about that was because we were almost doing the acting stuff, he didn't want to break the scene. So when he first was handed the peanut butter, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, he didn't say out.
Then Jordan ad-libbed and took the lid off. Then ad-libbed again and stuck his finger in.
No.
And then what made it worse is he did say I'm allergic, but he was sort of laughing it off, going, no, it's fine. But then he started coughing so badly that I was like, it's airborne, isn't it? I was like, you're not. And then I suddenly thought,
in front of him,
yeah,
going, go on, lick it.
I'm being serious now. This is not for effect. I suddenly thought, we've fucked up here
because
he's allergic. We haven't realised. He's like tried to laugh it off, and now he's hyperventilating and coughing. Just for the record, he wasn't that allergic, and the cough was something to do with the aircon.
Yeah, and never muck around with peanut butter.
Well, I wanted him to lick it off my finger. I thought it'd be funny. Because I've imagined the social clip of KSI licking peanut butter off my finger. But anyway.
Anyways, that was
thank God he didn't.
Can we also talk about the Jonas Brother that you forgot?
Well, all of them. You didn't know who any of them were.
Me neither. When they're together.
It was, Chris. So you just called them all Jonas.
That's why my dartboard was here. That's why I'm taking it back today.
Jonas Brothers.
We played darts with them.
I think because they're known as the Jonas Brothers, no one knows their first name, do they?
I didn't know.
They do, and they all look so different. Nick's the serious one. Joe's the curly-haired, funny one that went out with a British girl. And then you've got poor Kevin, who's just,
Kevin?
Yes!
That's not a Kevin.
That's not his name.
Kevin!
Who's Kevin?
Kevin's the one actually you really liked the most, I think, Chris. He's the brother that's not as famous, I would say.
We're doing interviews with him, and we had to go off and interview him separately. And Chris kept going, "Which one am I with? Which one?"
No, and that sounds rude. I think they're great lads.
Yeah.
The problem was in the moment that I was interviewing Kevin, I forgot his first name.
She's winding you up. There's not really a Kevin.
Is it not?
No, I'm joking.
Yes, Kevin. No, Kevin really is his name. By the way,
what's the truth of this?
No,
Kevin Jonas.
Kevin Jonas.
Yeah.
There is, and so I, at one point, was looking at him. I forgot his first name.
Yeah.
And so I had to improvise, and I said, "Come here, Jonas."
I really remember
and
it.
I think I got away with
You were
it.
trying to play darts with him. You did get away with it at that point, but that's when I realised neither of these two know who the hell they're sat with. But it was fine.
But these moments happen. There's been so many of them. Can I just very quickly give one more? Am I allowed to throw you under the bus, producer Callum? You sat outside. Sorry, because I feel like the last podcast it was. Producer Callum's one of the best people on earth. I love him so much.
Agreed.
Right? But the best thing about him, and I say this to everyone, is like he's the biggest cheerleader for this show.
Oh,
absolutely.
I love that we work with someone who's so passionate.
He loves this show. He's like the biggest fan of this show.
And he takes a real personal responsibility when guests come onto the show to make them feel comfortable, make them feel that they're part of, what is one of the biggest shows in radio, if not the biggest show in radio, and we really do and are so proud of this show. None more so than producer Callum. There was this one time where a brilliant actor called Jenna Coleman came in. And we're interviewing Jenna Coleman, and there's a few moving parts to this interview. It was a bit rushed, and
well, it was about a play that was called Lemons,
there was a few confusing
Lemons.
things, Jordan. It was slightly before you joined, but me and Sean were doing this interview.
Higher standards now.
And Jenna Coleman is coming into the show now. To make her feel welcome, Callum has greeted her, brought her into the studio, and is doing it the way he always does. He's like, "Come on in then, come get involved in the gang, come sit down here." Her name's Jenna Coleman, right? And she's been rushed in, she's having a busy day. Callum, and I'm stood to the side here, he's like, "Right, you sit down here, Olivia. Put these headphones on, Olivia. There you go. Go on, can I get you a water, Olivia?" And I'm looking over going, he's called her Olivia Coleman. He's like,
it's bad.
Her name's Jenna Coleman, right?
He's called her Olivia
and
like 4 times.
And she's just staring deadpan.
You could tell she didn't really want to be there anyway.
I'm inside praying he stops using the first name, but he couldn't stop himself. He's like, "Olivia, you know what we say to everyone when they come into the studio? We're here to make you have a good time. So Olivia, sit there, enjoy." It was almost like he was on a bet for how many times he could call her Olivia Coleman.
Brilliant.
Things go wrong with some of the guests. It's never intentional.
Let's circle back to this because there will be loads more that we haven't remembered, and we'll come back and tell you more.
Definitely come back quickly. Michelle has asked. I think it's a good one. Would you ever go on holiday together, and where would you go?
Magaluf, let's go.
This is the reason why I'm saying this is because I've found out that me and Sean are going to Mallorca at the same time, and I massively hinted to Sean, and I get it this week. I went, "Oh, we'll meet up," and Sean was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." And then I went home, and I was like, to be fair, we are in a studio, in a box every morning, 6 hours a day. The last thing you want to see on holiday is me.
Well, that's what this podcast for. We can squash this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you wanting to avoid it?
No, genuinely, it was because I actually think we're so far apart. I was thinking I'm not travelling an hour and a half to see it.
No, I agree.
Now, if we were near each other...
Also, he's not coming to you.
Well...
exactly, too right,
no
eh?
chance.
I've got a hire car, so I might be able to.
He won't come,
No,
Sean.
no.
What?
You won't, mate. It'll be an hour and a half for Sean,
I'll do
a
your
lovely
deal.
fella, and a daughter to have to travel to come see you.
If it's less than an hour, I'll definitely pop in and we'll get a beer together.
I actually think one night would be really fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Definitely.
It'd be good. But you're right, we need a break. We all need a break from everyone.
Each other,
from everything.
That's another thing I've noticed. When we're on holiday, we don't really message each other, do we?
No,
but you kind of need, because we are mates outside as well.
Oh, yeah. But we do stuff together, but you do want to also have stuff to talk about when you get back, don't you?
Are you coming to Ibiza? Are you decided you're going to come to Ibiza in August?
Are you going on that first weekend or second
First weekend we finish.
I might go second.
Oh. Well, we'll sort out.
If it said second,
I think we'd go on. We'd all actually go on holiday.
I'm joking.
Yeah, we would.
Hey, listen, going to Ibiza with Jordan is I think you sometimes think that I'm quite good with.
You're connected.
Sort of.
My Ibiza connection.
Ibiza is
how
pretty
have you got
good.
Ariel.
Oh, yeah. From the old place.
Yeah, really good.
What you'll see on Instagram on the August dump, little plot spoiler here, little teaser.
Oh.
In fact,
Plot spoiler.
on your August dump, which will probably be 1st or 2nd of September, on Instagram, there will be a picture of Jordan on a yacht. Now, I won't say whose yacht it is or what's happened, but I guarantee you now, there will be a thirsty picture of Jordan on a yacht. Happens every year. Go have a look.
Who do you know with a yacht?
If you want to get involved in the podcast, drop us an email. If you want to send us a question for next week, aftershowshow@capitalfm.com, or just DM us on our socials, Capital Official.
2 questions. Who owns the yacht and who's taking the photo?
See you next week.